Well, good day, YouTube, and welcome. I'm live again. I finally fixed the Starlink. So with the Starlink fixed, we can do lives again. So when my next snack crate gets here and stuff, we can do it live, which is great. For any of you that have watched the recent vlogs, you know that we are leaving the Arctic. We are heading out to Regina. I am still madly looking for jobs. I believe I've applied to 95 jobs in the last week. Um, haven't heard back from any yet, but most of the jobs I've applied to are posted until the end of December. Um, so sometimes you don't hear from them until closer to the end of the post date. Sometimes you hear from them right away if you're somebody they really, really want. I've applied to jobs doing kind of what I'm doing right now. I've applied to other retail management jobs. I've applied to custodian jobs. I've applied to jobs with the city. I've applied to everything out there. Like I was talking about in another one, the home inspection on the home, we did put in a remittance to get two things fixed. They jumped on them. One of them was fixed already. The other one will be fixed on Wednesday. At that point, everything is good to go. Hospital jobs, there's nothing posted on the website as of right now. But I will be leaving the north myself, like February 10th or 11th, because we take possession of the house on the 14th. So we will be I will be going to sign the final paperwork and everything because my name's the mortgage, not my wife's. So I'm going to be picking up the keys, going to the house, getting the beds and everything set up, getting the internet set up, um, security cameras, doing a few little odd repairs here and there. Depending on the snow situation, I may start with some of the exterior repairs, but probably not because it is Saskatchewan and they do have somewhat bad winters. Um, but I will be taking about 2 weeks to get things set up. Then I'll be coming back and I'll be switching out with my wife. I'll basically be coming and giving her a high five tag, and she'll be going out to the house, and she'll be getting things like pots and pans and plates and all that type of stuff that she wants in the house. And then she'll be coming back. Then we'll be doing another high five tag out, and I'll be going back and then coming back here. We do get 2 flights each out a year. Um, and then either we'll be driving the dogs out, we'll be chartering a $6,000 plane out, or we'll be flying out and paying for the dogs to go as cargo. And once we get to, which is where the company would fly us to, then we have to drive from Winnipeg the rest of the way. We're hoping that by then we have the car that's in Ottawa, in Winnipeg. Um, but yeah, it's so stressful. I've been searching prices on mattresses, box springs, bed frames, platform, because we're going with nothing, right? You basically we have our furniture, our clothes. That's what you have because your house is furnished here, right? So these pictures will come down and stuff and will come with us, but for the most part, you have nothing. And so we're going with nothing. So everything is starting from scratch. So there's going to be a lot of searching used sites and all that. Luckily, even though the house doesn't have a stove in the kitchen upstairs, it does have a smaller, like, apartment size stove in the basement because the basement has a kitchenette. So I'll take that stove from the basement upstairs for a little while until I have the money to buy a new stove. Also been told I can probably find them used on Kijiji and stuff because a lot of people have been switching over to natural gas stoves. My father-in-law is going to come to help build a deck in the summer. Plus, he wants to see the house and see his grandkid and all that. So there will be that. Am trying to work on getting my ex-wife to let the kids come up for a month because now that I'm there, it's going to be flying them, and I'd rather not pay to fly them there for 2 weeks and then fly them back. What's this here? Hopefully the ice road happens early. And, oh, sorry. And you can get a trucker to do a backhaul. Well, even doing a backhaul, there's not really much to backhaul, right? Again, we just have our clothes, some video game stuff, a few odds and ends, but a lot of it is cheaper to just buy new than ship out. Like, we have our air fryer. We probably just leave. Yeah.
Are you good for me turning it off?
Yes, I'm on Starlink right now. Um, Things like our air fryer. It's cheaper to just buy a new air fryer, and our air fryer is what, 3 or 4 years old now.
It is, and one of the arms on the door is broken. It still works fine, just
Yeah. So I mean, stuff like that, right? Little odds and ends. I mean, you don't own a TV here; they're all owned by the company. You don't own furniture here; it's all owned by the company. You don't own much, to be honest. You come in and your house is fully furnished, so you don't go with much when you leave. But because we're a family and we've been in the company so long, I have a lot. I will have to basically buy a whole new tool set to the stuff I had. It was great and useful, and I kind of wish I hadn't wasted some money on some of the stuff, because at first we were going to stay longer until a full year of 70-hour work weeks happened, and then we were like, "Fuck this shit. We need to go." But it is what it is, right? Looking at better schooling for the kids, looking at better support for the kids, even knowing nobody in the city, it's still better support because there are things you can do. There are programs, there's this, there's that. Um, and if we drive from Regina to Ottawa, it's only like a day and a half. If we fly, it's something like 5 hours because you stop in Toronto. If we fly to Toronto, it's only like 3 hours. Round trip ticket to Toronto is normally only like $400, so it's not that bad. Round trip ticket to Ottawa is about six, but that's usually going to be the better way for us to go if we want to fly because our family is in the Ottawa area. Um, Getting the dogs there again, driving them is the best way, but I don't know if that's going to be what happens. Again, if I can find out some good information about chartering a plane where it costs me less than $6,500, I'm great for that. I know the locals can get like $3,000 and $4,000 planes now. I don't know if there's a discount on it that they're getting, or if that's just they use a different company. But I got to do some searching on here from Brian. Keep me in the loop about logistics for your car. If I can help you get it somewhere for you, let me know. Uh, Again, it's getting it. If we drive out on Winter Road, it's getting it to us, like coming up the ice road into Deer Lake. If we fly out, it's getting it to Winnipeg because Winnipeg is the cheapest, quickest flight. You could do Thunder Bay, but I mean, if you're going to Thunder Bay, you're flying to Sioux Lookout first. Well, usually you go through Red Lake, then Sioux Lookout, then Thunder Bay. And again, both of our dogs are large dogs, so they'd both have to go cargo, and there's no guarantee of when they would get to us. So we'd have to have somebody here that could watch them until they can get them on a plane and get them to us. And then we'd have to just sit there until they got out. Going Winnipeg direction, same thing, but at least there's more flights a day going to Winnipeg, so there's a better chance of trying to get them on something. But yeah, in all honesty, chartering out or driving is the best of the two ways of getting them out of here. We are going to, because Canada Post doesn't leave things on your doorstep, we are going to possibly mail a few things from here to the house a week and a half before I go, so that they would either be at the post office waiting for me, or they would get there while I'm there. Uh, and I mean, in all honesty, that's the best thing I can hope for, is that it gets there while I'm there. When we moved up, there was four of us, and we had something like 39 Plano boxes full of stuff. And again, that was clothes, blankets, toys, everything, right? Uh, Leaving, probably going to be less. The last time we went down, I basically filled my suitcase with clothes I wasn't going to bring back, and then filled a bin that I left in my in-laws' garage, because and came back with an empty suitcase. Now, when I go out to take possession of the house, I will bring my suitcase full of stuff and my carry-on full of stuff that I'm not bringing back with me, and then I'll bring my carry-on and my suitcase back with me, basically empty, except for a change of clothes or two. And then my wife would do the same thing, and it helps get some of the stuff out of the north to the point where there's less stuff for us to bring out. Because I think you get something like 75 pounds between your two bags, your carry-on and your suitcase. So I can get a good deal of stuff out. It's just deciding what can go in the carry-on that I don't want to have broken, what can go in the plane, right? So I would fill it with clothes, boots, that type of stuff, until I hit the weight limit and just go. Yeah. So my plan, and the only thing I'm still waiting on for the house is insurance. Most insurance companies won't even give me a quote right now because I'm more than 60 days ahead of possession / start date. So there's been a lot of error messages go on. So I got to wait about another week, and then I can start looking into it, which is okay because my mortgage broker is still trying to push me to change my banks from where I am now to where I'm going to have my mortgage. Probably a better idea. Looks like I can. I have a chance of making $850 doing the switch because my mortgage will get me. If I have an account with them, I'll get $350 for the account, and for the switch, and I'll get $500 for opening a mortgage with them. So it'll be nice to get another $1,000 a few months down the road. So it looks like that switch may happen. I haven't changed banks in a long time. I hate changing banks. I hate having to go and find all the numbers and switch them over to. I hate doing it all. I really do. Main reason I don't change my bank because my bank has given me a lot of trouble in my years with them. Main reason I don't change is because I hate doing the work to change. It really is the main reason I don't. Looking like I'm still going to have to try and find something close to the wage I'm making right now to be able to survive, but things will go better regardless once once I can get my child support reevaluated and everything in July. Things will be better because I can show whatever job I'm with, they can say what my wage is, and things will go from there. I anything you guys want to ask or talk about? Who's here? Two people are here. Anything you guys want to talk about? Anything you want to say? Anything interesting going on here? Legend? Who's a legend? I'm not a legend. You know who's a legend? Colleen. Colleen's a legend. Right, Colleen? You a good girl? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Where's your idiot brother? Oh, he's way over there. The puppy. People have asked about the puppy. He has gotten much, much, much larger. I don't know if we can call Regina the big city. Apparently, my internet's having trouble though, so I might start getting ready to go. I don't understand why my Starlink is having trouble at this point, but it is. It's you. You're using all the bandwidth on your FaceTime.
Yes, Chad, I'm FaceTiming. Nobody has it on. I just pissed you off. That's what I have going on.
Well, thanks for sticking around that long. I guess I kind of want to say sorry because and Aiden are the main reasons we're leaving. If we didn't have kids, there would be nothing wrong with this job if it wasn't for the kids. Um, I think that's the thing, right? This job hires people with families because they need people, and a lot of times we're good for the job, but the job isn't good for us. I've always said that there are pros and cons to this company, and one of the cons is just the amount of hours they expect you to work. And if it was just me and my wife in this house, no dogs, no kids, I wouldn't care if I was over there 18 hours a day because I'm just coming home, snuggling up with my wife, and going to sleep. Um, Being that I have children, I don't want to be working 60 and 70 hours a week. Because I have dogs who really need me around to help train them, help socialize them, take them and exercise them. I don't want to be working 60 or 70 hours a week. Um, Even jobs that I've talked to people about. I interviewed for Flying J, Pilot Flying J, the truck stop company. And the only reason I didn't go to them, the pay was great, the hours were great, the benefits were great. It was the I would be going to the Regina truck stop because I applied in Regina because it was up, and I'd go to the Regina truck stop to train, and then they would move me somewhere else in the country to take over that truck stop. I'm like, okay, this could work. I mean, how long are we looking at? Because I could come out for 3 or 6 months, do the training, and then my family could all just meet me. Like I can live in a hotel if I have to. I don't care. And she's like, well, that's great that you would do that and this and that. She goes, the problem is that it could be anywhere from 3 months to 24 months before you move anywhere. I'm like, well, not knowing for 20, well, like I can't move, buy a house, live in it for 2 years, and then try and sell it and go somewhere else and hope for the best. It's just not a feasible thing. And I'm not going to go and rent when everything for rent in Regina is just like everything for rent in Ontario, where you're paying double or triple what the mortgage would be on the same houses. I've seen some stuff in Washington Park, which is apparently the sketchy areas of town, that would be sold for like $120,000, which means your mortgage would be, even at 6%, let's say, your mortgage would be under $700 a month, and they're renting it for like 1,500. So why would I go and spend like my entire wage on rent, right? Like, well, an entire 2 week period of wage on rent. Currently, I'm still posting beer reviews, but I have currently not drank since the summer. The First Nation reserve that we work on currently, is a dry reserve, so I don't bring anything up. I don't review anything because it can get me in a lot of trouble. Um, but when I go out, there ain't no rules, right? I think on our last 5 week vacation, I reviewed something like 130 beers. I still have something like 25 on my phone to upload. So by the time I'm done uploading the beer reviews, because I've been doing them a little less frequently, by the time I'm done uploading them, I'll probably be out to take possession of my house. And Regina has something like 12 craft breweries. So I'll be able to start again. Plus, Saskatchewan has more craft breweries. Um, I go through Winnipeg. Winnipeg has craft breweries. I think, to an extent, everything can start again, and I can even set up in the basement the kitchenette. I can set that up as like the studio to do the reviews in. Well, I'm very glad to hear that you enjoy them. I'm very glad. Um, I don't know what else there is to say. Almost Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everybody. I'm really excited to be starting this new chapter. I'm also very scared. Like I said, the fact that we're going out with absolutely nothing freaks the fuck out of me. The fact that the house that I'm buying, it's 97 years old, and for 97 years old, it's in amazing condition for a 97-year-old house. But the repairs I need to do on it do scare me. The money that maybe sank into this house does scare me, but at the same time, it's the type of house that both me and my wife have always wanted. It is a character home. It does have a lot of the old charm from 97 years ago, and it's the type of stuff that we like. So we will take everything slow. We're going to start off with lower end stuff and move from there. Um, if I can find stuff used, great. If I can't, we go to the lower end new stuff. Unfortunately, our vehicle is not big enough to a lot of pickups and stuff. Like we can't go out and pick up a fucking used couch or something in what we have to drive. But Pathfinder is big enough to pick up some things. So that's a good set. Little too isolated out here. Sorry, my blind eyes, right? Uh the isolation isn't really even the problem. I mean, I'm not I know I come off sometimes as an extrovert, but I'm an extroverted introvert. I do need to have some outside contact, but my family is more what I care to be around than anything else. Certain friends of mine are family, like one of the ones that's talking to me on here right now, Brian. Uh, there are a lot of people that I look at as close to, almost as close as, or almost as close as blood. And there's a lot of blood that I look at as not as close as some of my friends. But all that being said, I'm listening to my kids down the hall, and yeah. All that being said, it's not really the isolation so much as the isolation on them. I care more about what's happening to them than what's happening to me, and the education system just is not as good. School closes for everything, and the, my son is autistic. He needs structure. He's not getting that structure here. We're not home enough. We're over at that store all the time. Uh, Last week there was a lot of days I was there before 7 a.m. and I wasn't leaving till close to 7 p.m. And then we'd go and do a garbage run. So I mean, and garbage run takes over an hour and a half by the time you drive up to the dump, empty the truck, drive back. So I mean, it is what it is. Now these were my days off. Yesterday I spent 5 hours snow blowing, and I'm snow blowing the store more than anything, right? Like I'm snow blowing the loading bay and the stairs and everything else. So it is. Oh, again, I'm not home enough for homeschool. I'm not. So that's just not an option either. So it's time to go somewhere where there is school that isn't going to go, you know, this happened or that happened or this, and something happens here, and I understand because everybody's family, everybody's related. But something happens here, everything shuts down because everybody's affected because everybody's related to whatever happened to whatever person. Um, doesn't happen outside the res, so we have to think about the future of our children more so than our financial future. She works with me. We work the same hours. We're over there all the time. So I mean, it is what it is, right? It's it is what it is. Um, yeah, Colleen, I see you. Yes, yes, we see you. Well, when we go there, she'll have to work as well. It's not like you still have car payments, you still have insurance, you still have this, you still have that. Neither of us make 120 or 30 grand a year. Um, Combined, right now, we're making under just over 100 grand. So, like, one of us is just under 50, and one of us is just over 50. So it is more than enough to live on there if we can find jobs that pay close to what we're getting paid, but we're still not going to work as many hours as we're working now. Regardless of what happens, again, like I've had store manager jobs offered to me already, and they're like, well, we expect you to work like 40 to 44 hours. And I'm like, really? That's all? They're like, well, yeah, we don't want you in the store more than that. There needs to be a work-life balance. And I'm like, that's amazing. When I was talking to Pilot Flying J, they're like, well, you get free food on your lunch breaks. And I'm like, lunch breaks? What's a lunch break? They're like, what do you mean? I go, oh, people get lunch breaks? What's a lunch break? If I go into the store at 5 a.m. and I leave at 6:30, I'm, and when I say 6:30, I mean 6:30 p.m. Sometimes you don't leave till 9 p.m. depending on when cargo comes. I mean, we've had cargo show land at 6 p.m. By the time you get the cargo off the plane, onto the trucks back to the store, everything off the trucks, all the paperwork done, it could be 9:30 at night. And you might have started at 6 in the morning. And that's just the way it is. There's no lunch break. You're not getting paid any extra because you're salaried. You're getting paid 37 and a half hours regardless of what you're doing. In the end, I'm getting paid under wage by quite a bit to work hours I'm working. And again, there's no services, so you're doing the store's garbage. You're doing all the snow removal. You're doing all the maintenance. I build skidoos. I build ATVs. When we got here, the garbage room was destroyed. It had been crushed by a truck. So I had to rebuild that because nobody's building it for us. Skidoos are getting chewed by stray dogs. I had to build fencing because nobody's building it for us. Had to learn how to fix the water pumps and the water filtration system. And like, again, if you don't have a family and you don't care, you just come up here because you don't have any bills and you're gonna just pocket money until you retire, basically. Great job for you. Really great job for you. When you're coming up with debt and kids and everything else, not such a great job for you. It did do what we needed. It strengthened our relationship. It got us out of the position we were in. It got us away from some of the stuff that was causing severe stress and anxiety on our life. So it did what it had to do. I'm not angry I took the job. I'm not angry per se with the job, but when you say a year ago, you guys don't pay me enough for the amount of hours I'm working. This is what's happening. You are our landlords. We've lost sewage 3 times over the winter because our sewage pipe froze because there is no heat in it. You haven't come to fix that. You give them a whole list of things, and then you don't get a raise. Over the whole year, they don't send somebody up to fix the sewage so that you don't lose sewage this winter. They don't, like, when you go down that whole list, it's like, well, you calling my bluff? Because I'm not somebody that bluffs. I'll find a way out. And that's what it came down to. It was, okay, time to go. You've proven to us that you don't want us. And then after that, we got well, is there anything we can do to keep you from quitting? No, you had a year to do the things you needed to do to keep me from quitting. You didn't do any of them. So it's time to walk. We're not trying to go high. I mean, a lot of people jump and run. They go on vacation and never come back. We did tell head office that this is what's happening. This is where we're going. Don't have a full timetable in mind. We are playing it by ear. We're working together to see what's best for everybody. And we're just going that way. But by the end of the school year, we're done. So I mean that's the thing, right? It is what it is, and I mean, I don't care about being on a drive reserve. That's fine. I don't need to drink. That's the amount of hours I work and the amount of stress this job can cause. I do need to drink, but I don't need to drink, if you know what I mean. Um, like, I would love if I had a case of beer sitting here right now, but not having one doesn't really affect me. Um, Especially when I know that I'll be going out in a little over 2 months and I can buy some stuff to drink. In the house that has absolutely no furniture. It'll have some nice echoes in it when we do some reviews. It'll be very echoey. Now, the weird thing about this is that we're buying this house sight unseen. We just know the pictures, and the pictures our real estate agent sent us, and the pictures the home inspector sent us. We've never been there. We've, yeah, it's somewhat scary, but a lot of people have done it lately. A lot of people have gone burned, so I'm hoping I'm hoping that for once I have a little bit of good luck, and that I don't get burnt on this. But I know my track record, but at the same time, I'm just excited because I need something different. When we came up here, I needed something different. After 30 plus years of doing the same thing, it was time to do something different. Um, we came up here almost 5 years ago. So, what, I was 37 because I turned 42 this coming year. So we came up in 2019. So yeah, I would have been 37. Um, and I look at it that every bad thing that happened to me in a certain geographical area, and it was time to just go from that and start a fresh start. And I went and I did my fresh start, and the job was great in comparison in PUV. The community was not as great. Here, the community is a lot better. The job is a lot worse because there's no help, right? In PUV, our management team was six of us from the south, plus one local that could do everything. Like, we had him trained on everything. Here, it's us, and that's it. Doing more sales, more volume, and it does not work. So I mean, what do you mean? Was I targeted in what way? Um, I am somewhat happy that things didn't go the way targeted with all the chaos. No, we came to a store. We got moved from a place where we had to leave. It wasn't safe for our family to be. It wasn't a place where anybody with kids should have been sent. And there are communities in this company where if you have kids, they will not send you there. There are communities in this company where if you're a single woman, they won't send you there. But they sent us there, knowing we had children, and a lot of bad things happened, and it was time to leave. And then we came here, and like I said, here there's not enough southern management, and every time we promote a local here, we get bit in the ass because things happen that we can't control, but it bites us in the ass, and it is. Yeah, there, the kids had knives pulled on them quite often. The kids would have people chase them down the street. We had dogs murdered. There was sexual abuse towards myself. There was physical abuse towards my wife. There was a lot of things that happened in the other community. Job was a lot better. We only worked like 42 hours a week. We were home with our kids more. We had family game nights. We had family movie nights. We did a lot more with the family. Here, we don't do a lot with the family, and it's not that we don't want to. We just are at work all the time. And by the time you get home and you cook dinner for the kids and you've taken the dogs out to exercise, you're like, I just want to lay in bed and die. And good day, Steve. How are you? So it's a great. Oh, I'm getting too old. One of my dogs was raped. One of my dogs was murdered. Not the ones I have here. Dogs that I had there. Well, two of my dogs were murdered, actually. One of them was rat poisoned, and the other one was stabbed to death. Uh, because I was the wrong culture to have dogs up there. Sorry, my blind eyes are working less and less as I'm getting older. Where was I going there? So I am excited to go to Regina. I am excited to see what life has left. I turn 42 next year, and I'm sad that I'm moving further and further away from my family that's in Ontario. Like I said, I am trying to get my ex-wife to let us take the kids for a whole month, and then we'll send all 3 of them back to her for as long as she wants. She can have Aiden for a week. She can have Aiden for 2 weeks. Whatever she wants, we just need to know so we can buy his return ticket. But it is what it is, right? Going to be a good Christmas time? I guess so. Everything is done for Christmas. My kids with my ex-wife have their gifts already sitting at their place. Our kids here have all their stuff. We didn't buy much because we knew we were possibly leaving. At least not much that was bigger. Hi, Harlow. How are you? Mommy said you could have cookies.
And her secret door.
She has secret cookies?
Secret.
Ooh. I'm going to find these secret cookies.
What is that?
Those sunglasses. Do you like them?
Yeah. How come they're all black?
Because that's what they are. She did. She said cookies. And she said Mommy has secret cookies. I didn't know Mommy had secret cookies. Mommy kept those secret from me, but not from Harlow. Mommy always has secret cookies, eh? Why does Daddy never get them when he says, hey, do you have any cookies? You're like, no.
They're not for you.
Don't get married.
Cookies, buy your own damn cookies.
I buy my own cookies and they're not secret enough. People find them.
Mine all mine. Fuck off. Leave me alone.
She is hiding the cookies on me. She is. Hi, Colleen. Come up. There's my baby girl. Milk is fine. No sugar. Absolutely no sugar. Actually, I have a shit ton of milk because the band council did. Hey, baby. The band council did Christmas hampers for everybody, and Ontario Works did Christmas hampers for everybody, and Jordan's principal did Christmas hampers for everybody, and the school did Christmas hampers for everybody, and nobody told me, so we were ordering our stuff as if we were going to go through what we always go through in a week, and didn't sell any of it because everybody had it. So my fridge right now, you can't even move in it. No sugar is a good thing. Everybody is healthier. Well, no sugar means no home beer, and the home brew is really what destroys most people here, especially because it's not actually proper home brew. It's like we took NyQuil and Pepto-Bismol and gasoline and pineapple juice and orange juice and threw it in a container and added like a buttload of sugar and some bread yeast and let it ferment for a day and then sold it for $200. Well, most of Canada doesn't have a lot of sugar because of... Can you stop, dog? Most of Canada doesn't have a lot of sugar right now because of the Rogers sugar strike. And are you coming over here now? And we don't use Rogers, we use Redpath, but Redpath has been selling a lot of their stuff to Walmart, so we're not getting much right now. I think I've been getting sugar cubes, and that's about it. So I put the sugar cubes on the shelf, and it's like a bat signal goes out, and the sugar cubes are gone within seconds. And then I get, why don't you have any more sugar? Well, I can't get any more sugar. Our company has like 400 stores, and they're trying to get sugar to everybody. And we're rationed, guys. If you're going to come in and buy like 20 kilos of sugar in sugar cubes at once, there's not much I can do. Good day, Pop Culture Vegan. Well, again, tea and coffee isn't really where all the sugar's going. How long do I think it'll take? Get up here, buddy. Come on. Come on, you big old monster. Yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah. What you doing? Come here. Come here, buddy. Yeah. You're such a good boy. Yes, you are. He's 9.5 months old today. Hey, buddy. So where was I going there? Yeah, so how long will it take for me to adjust to the south again? I don't know.
Where do I put this?
In the tool cupboard.
Okay.
Where do my tools go?
I don't know. I was on the couch, but I thought you wanted me to put it somewhere else.
It was on the couch because I had to put a hole in a wall.
Wait, what?
What, any fast food or pizza joints where? Here? No, well, technically, my store has a KFC inside it, but my KFC, my one KFC worker quit, so I don't have anybody to work there. And the $1,000 a day that I can make at the KFC does not warrant me putting somebody in there, so it's currently empty. I will not, and I mean I will not take away from stocking the shelves that can sell 30 times as much in a day to put somebody in there to make like 20 things of popcorn chicken and seven things of big crunches, and yeah, I won't. Right, Otis? Right, buddy? Who's my baby boy, eh? Oh, there's my baby boy. Yeah, you're such a good boy. Yes, you are.
Dad, are you using one of those quick chat things?
Is your room clean?
I think so. I just have to double check. There might be some stuff on the floor. I know I cleaned my leg one.
I got that the answer was yes, no, there's no restaurants here. There's nothing here. There's my store. That's what's here. My store, the school. That's it. What are you doing, you giant mutt?
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, Harlow. Hi, guys. I'm a giant dinner plate. I do think that when we get out, sorry guys, I'm just trying to move my hand here. I do think that when we get out, it will take a little bit of time to reacclimatize to the ability to go to more than one grocery store, the ability to go to more than one place, the ability to do things, take a walk to a park, go to a hockey game or a football game, or to do. Oh my God, dog! To do anything, to be able to drive somewhere and end up somewhere. Like to be able to go, hey, let's go to, I don't know, let's go to Wynyard and see this place, or let's go to Bigger, or let's go to Saskatoon, or let's go to Winnipeg. Winnipeg's 5 hours away. Let's go to Winnipeg for this or that. You can't drive anywhere here until the ice road opens up. You can't get out. You're just on the res, just able to get around the res to the houses, to the dump, that type of stuff, and that's it, right? You cannot drive here. You have to fly. So it will take some time to get used to being able to go, hey, let's just go do this. But I think other than that, and having neighbors and everything again, I think things will be close to the same. Ah, shit. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to see what was said here, but... Yes, everybody knows us. Otis, you giant monster. Yes, I know. You're here. I got it. You're here. there's things I could say to that question, but I'm not going to say it on a public post, because though I'm leaving the company, I don't need to hurt any business they could have down the road. And the things I could say to that aren't just about me, it's about anybody that works for this company. And yeah, not. Is there is NAPS, which is the Aboriginal Police Services. There's one cop here for over 1,400 people. He's a busy guy. He's a busy guy.
Are you sure he's busy? Because no one called.
Aiden,
What?
your dad go. Go to your room.
Okay.
A lot of times he gets 1-2 hours of sleep a day because he's out doing things. We had some girls that ran away from home. He was out all night looking for them. Just things like that. So I feel for him. I think right after Santa Claus pictures happened this year, I'm shaving all this off and going back down to the wood. I want to shave this off too, but my wife says she'll divorce me. Right, honey? If I shave my beard off, you'll divorce me? Yeah, if I shave it completely off, she will divorce me. She has said that beards are the man's push-up bra and makeup. Apparently without it, I look like a 10-year-old. She doesn't want to have a cherub as a husband. But I mean, look, I'm aging now. I got the bags. I got a little bit. Oh, Brian, he doesn't fill in at any store. Even if his videos make it look like he really works for the company, he doesn't work for the company. His wife works for the company. She works like 20 hours a day while he does a little video and then sits at home and edits it. And he does a video that's like, look at all the fun you can have. We can go fishing and we can do this and we can do that. And then people come up here and they're like, why don't we have time to do all this stuff? Well, there's the reason is that it isn't able to happen. Hospital? There's no hospital here. Fire and ambulance.
What are you talking about? We have a fire truck.
We have a fire truck. The fire truck is always empty because sometimes they use it to fill people's houses with water. So if a fire starts, it has to drive all the way down to the water station, fill up, and then get to wherever the house is. So by the time it gets there, the house is gone. Yeah. Your ambulance is a van. You have
They just use the medical van.
they use a van that's just for transporting people. A lot of times they'll use the Jordan's Principal van. But that's it's not an ambulance. It's an actual van. There's no hospital bed or anything in it. It's a van. And you say you get run over by your mother 3 times in a car. They drive that van over to you. They put you in the back of that van, and then they drive you to the nursing station that has 2 nurses. And
More than 2.
and they're not RPNs or anything. They're RNs, because there's so much stuff they can't do until the 1 week a month that the RPN is here. But yeah, so they drive you on the extremely bumpy roads with you screaming in the back to the nursing station, and then they do whatever they can. And if they have to, then the Challenger or whatever vehicle, whatever plane they have set up for medical comes. Actually, I don't think it is a Challenger here. I believe it's a Metroliner that comes to get you here. Because anytime we've seen the medical plane here, it's this tiny little thing that probably holds.
Orange plane.
Yeah, it's a little orange plane. So yeah, it's a Metro liner. The Challenger would go up to where we used to be, and they had a hospital.
Actually, I think most of them are LPNs or LPNs.
LPNs or LBNs?
Licensed practical nurse or licensed vocational nurse.
Okay, there you
I
go.
think a lot of the girls are here.
So how are you doing, Andrew? Any wolves, bears, etc.? Yeah. Yes. Black bears, wolves, sometimes timber wolves. But yeah. And though I didn't specifically say whether or not that scenario with the ambulance happened or not, it, you know, yeah, you know. Well, a wolf is always a threat, but I mean, I have a Great Pyrenees and I have a Great Pyrenees Saint Bernard. They make sure the wolves stay away. I mean, the Great Pyrenees is bred to fight said wolves, and a black bear, they're more scared of us than we are of them. When we go to the dump, during the summer and stuff, there'd be like 7 or 8 black bears all around the truck as I'm throwing things out of the truck into the dump. So yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? I have a few more minutes before I have to take the pups out again. Before I have to go to my office to do some paperwork, if you get what I'm saying. Is Harlow being rough on the old girl? Yeah, so I am really excited for the new chapter. I really hope I can find a job before I leave, because I don't have a nest egg to sit back on while I'm looking, solely because I have children, so there are things I have to do to follow the law with said children, and I know that my ex-wife likes to call certain people to come and check on me, so I have to make sure that things are dealt with in a fair and reasonable way. And I mean, it was never like we were thinking, let's go just sleep on floors. We always knew that we were buying beds and everything else. That's already in our budget. I'm just saying that because of stuff like that, I don't have a lot of flex room. Though my bonus from this company will get paid out in April, so as long as I can make it to April, I'll see more money. I always get an okay tax return, so as long as I can make it to that, I'll see okay money. I'm excited and I'm scared is what it comes down to. And I really don't know how we're getting our stuff from Ottawa to us. I don't know how we're getting the dogs out. This is all, my mind works in weird ways and it hyper focuses, and I'm hyper focused on how all this is getting done. I don't know. We have a question here, Alicia. Tell me what you think. How much more sales would you do with double the freezer fridge space? Yeah. I think we could do a lot more, because a lot of times we do run out of eggs, we do run out of milk. There's meat is a huge thing here, and there's so much types of meat I could bring in that sell really well. We have these giant packages of pork chops, and they're like 2.5 inches thick. They go for between $40 and $70 a package because it's done by weight. I can only bring so many of those in, but I put them on the shelf and they sell out in that first day I put them on the shelf. My fresh meat does really well. We have bulk ground beef tubes that are like 5 kilos of ground beef. I bring in like 12 cases of that right now a week. I sell all 12 cases. If I had more fridge room, I could bring in more. Just there is, I think, a great deal of things we could do. Center Store sells really well here. Center Store doesn't sell well in all the communities, but things like cans of corned beef hash, cans of Click, boxes of Kraft Dinner, sugar, bottles of water, cans of Coke, cans of Pepsi. If I had space for skid drops, I could drop an entire skid of water and an entire skid of Pepsi, and they would be gone in a week. So yeah, if we had more room, there is a lot more stuff that could be done here. But at the same time, not just room, you also need the staff. You need staff that will actually show up to work, staff that will work hard, and you don't really necessarily get that solely because, again, everybody's family. So when something happens, everybody's affected. Hence why the fact that it's just us really hurts this store. I can't do all my paperwork and everything else I'm supposed to do and stock every shelf. It's not a feasible idea, but it's kind of what has to happen. I normally have 5 stock boys in, but they're all kids that, again, school goes to grade 9 here. Grade 8, and then if you want to do high school, you do 9 here, and then you fly out or you do internet. So all my stock boys are like 15 and 16 years old. They don't really have a great work ethic, and unless I'm riding them the entire day, I'm not getting a lot out of them. And if I'm riding them the entire day, I can't do my job. So it's one of those catch-22s. I need bodies in the store, especially for when I get cargo, but I need bodies in the store that can do some work. And you don't get that per se. I mean, I have one guy that tries his hardest. He's a 16-year-old kid. He tries his hardest. He wants to do well. He does okay. But he does okay. He does miles above most of my other stock boys. But what all 5 of them can put out in a day, I can put out on the shelf in an hour and a half. So it's like, what do you do, right? But I do need the bodies for when I have 14,000 pounds of cargo drop, because we need to get it off the trucks and into the spots they have to go, and it needs to be done fast. So it's one of those catch-22 things. But yes, with the proper spacing, that store could do a lot more sales. With the proper work, so like I said, all those hampers came in. If those organizations had come to us with what they wanted to get and a quote on what they were being charged by other companies to get it, we probably could have gotten it for them for less. Because when they're not selling it through the store, like if they're coming to me with this giant order, we'd go through contract sales. Contract sales can get the stuff and can sell it cheaper because they don't have the overhead that we do. They'll give us a percentage of the profits that goes right to your bottom line, but they don't have to pay for the housing up here. They don't have to pay for the workers up here. They don't have to pay the hydro up here. So they're just paying for the product itself and the shipping. So they can go even lower. And I mean, because we work with our own airline, our shipping is cheaper. And because we're already up here, and this company's one thing is that they have the logistics to get things up here, they can get it for cheaper. But nobody ever seems to want to come to us with that stuff. Because again, if they came to me with a quote that was like, hey, this is what Loblaws will charge us for all this stuff, we can undercut that. We can. And that helps the res as well, because the res gets a percentage back, like the casino gives to Niagara Falls. This company gives a percentage back to the land that they're on. So coming to us for that stuff, you'll save money and you'll make more at the same time. But there's this hatred for this company at the same time, even though it's the only company here. So it's this catch-22 thing that you're fighting all the time. Sorry, my daughter's just running back and forth. My big dog is on the floor over there. I don't know where the smaller dog is. Oh, where is Colleen? Okay. We had freezing rain yesterday, so my power lines are very covered in stuff. What time is it? 8:38. Okay, is there anything else we want to talk about, guys? Anything at all? We do have a busy day tomorrow. I'm really excited for tomorrow. I'm not excited. I'm not excited for this week at all either. And next week and the week after, I only get one shipment both times. So hopefully they send me extra planes this week to try and catch up on all that dry they have there, or my store will really be empty. I know they won't, but, so we have people from head office coming tomorrow. We have 8 of them coming at 7:55 a.m. There is when their plane is supposed to land. We've been saying for almost a year now that they've sent us way too much general merchandise, like way too much, and there's no room for anything. They came in for an audit 2 weeks ago, and after a year of us saying, stop sending us shit, we have all this shit, we can't do anything with it, there's nowhere to put it, they came in for their audit and they're like, oh my lord, you have too much shit. There's nowhere to put any of it. How are we going to get winter road up here? What's going to happen when the ice road opens up and we have to get you all these trucks full of stuff? Where is it going to go? And I'm like, oh my God, something we've been telling you for a year. And so yeah, now they're coming up to take stuff back, pallet it up and send it out. Really excited. Really excited. So they get here at 7:55, so we have to go in very early to get our stuff done so that we can go and pick them up at the airport, bring them in, start doing everything that we have to do with them. They leave at 5:55. We close at 6. But tomorrow, OW, so Ontario Works, is coming to do a shopping spree with their clientele in the store, so we won't be closing at 6. And then Tuesday, head office is coming again at 7:55, and we're going to have cargo, and we're going to have them leaving at 5:55 again. My luck is a storm will happen, and we'll have 8 of them sleeping in our house with us. We have a water sample to get done too. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about the water sample. Again, I have to try and bulk up my orders, but I'm not getting enough planes. I have like 12,000 pounds of stuff sitting in Red Lake, but what they decided to do was send me 2 caravans on Friday. Well, they sent us a third one only because Curtis was being an asshole and they wanted to fuck with him.
Apparently they also got told that they had to send us something.
That's great. So let's send them a caravan. So caravans carry 3,000 pounds of stuff. So we had our order come in. We had already had 15,000 pounds of stuff sitting in Red Lake. Our order was only 6,000 pounds because we lowered a few things because of all the milk and everything. So because we lowered those things, instead of sending a Basler that would get some of that 15,000 pounds plus the 6,000 pounds to us, they're like, we'll send you 2 caravans because that just carries your 6,000 pounds you just ordered. Okay, well now all my shelves are still empty and you still are holding things for weeks upon weeks upon weeks. And then I guess Curtis got back and he's like, I don't have enough time to do the run to this place, but I can do Deer Lake or North Spirit. And they're like, okay, we'll send you to Deer Lake. And he's like, okay, you have to have me packed in the next 5 minutes or I'm not going. They apparently had him packed in like 3.5, and he was very angry about that. But so all my stuff is still sitting there, and now I have 2 flights this week, and that's it with all my orders this week, plus the 15,000 pounds sitting there. And then I'll get 1 flight next week, which is supposed to be bulked up as well, because I'm only getting 1 flight next week for Christmas, and then I'll get 1 flight the week after between Christmas and New Year's, which is also supposed to be bulked up because I'm only getting 1 flight that week. So I'm going to have nothing in this store. Crazy stuff always happens with head office here. Head office doesn't usually care. That's what it comes down to. And I don't even care anymore. I mean, I know I'm gone this year, coming. I know I'm not here much longer, so it's like, whatever. You guys don't want to fix things, you don't want to fix things. Next person can deal with it. Exactly how I'm looking at most of it, right? Like, I just don't, I have nothing left in me. Alicia has no fight left in her either. Like, there's things that we should be fighting about right now, and we're just like, you know what? Whatever. Do whatever you guys want. You do it anyway. And that's just the way it is, right? It's a sad thing, but it's the way it is. But you're right. Like, realistically, you'd want this stuff to happen while they're here. You want them to see this stuff, but again, well, we had the plumber here. The plumber was here to do the heat trace, but they sent him in the winter when the ground is frozen, and so he can't do the heat trace. And he was looking at the other heat traces and everything else, and he was looking at the water, and apparently the plumbers that were here in the summer didn't put the water pump out far enough. It's so close to the shore that it's guaranteed that it's going to freeze this year. By the time winter roads open, you're not getting any water out of that pump. And then so he's telling us that. Oh, that's great. And then we're talking about where they want to build new houses and the warehouse and all that, because they own this huge property across the street from the store. Like, they own it, so they don't need a land lease to build on it. And I'm like, yeah, they want to build houses and stuff over there. And he goes, but that's where their septic field is. He goes, if they build there, they can't build there. It's your shit field. You can't build there. And I'm like, well, I don't think they know that that's the shit field, because that's where they want to build. He's like, does nobody do anything? Like, did they not look? And then he's like, you know what? I really should have known, because I guess our project managers change almost every year. And he's like, nobody knows what's anywhere on any property in this company. And this is why I make jokes about this company. They waste more money by the time I wake up and take my first shit than I'll ever see in my life. Like, every day they waste more money than I will ever see in my life. It's a sad thing, but it is what it is, right? And it's... your mind is boggled by some of the things they do. And there's nothing you can do but sit there and go, what the fuck? And I mean, that's what it is. You can sit there and go, what the fuck? And that's the end of it. But yeah, so I guess I'm gonna go, because I gotta go take shit anyway. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry for sharing too much information, but you know me, that's what I do. Great talking to you all. Brian, we got some stuff to talk about anyway, so I'll send you some messages. Yeah, thank you guys. Bye.